What are examples of folk etymology affecting word form? Imagine trying to understand a word but it looks strange or unfamiliar. Over time, people change it to sound more familiar, creating new versions. That's folk etymology in action. Take the word bridegroom. It comes from Old English bridguma, meaning bride plus man. In Middle English, it became bridegome. Later, people added an R, influenced by the word groom, which meant young man or servant. So, the word changed to bridegroom to make it easier to say and understand. Another example is hamburger. It originally referred to someone from Hamburg, a city in Germany. The word was made from Hamburg plus the suffix meaning from. But English speakers saw the word and thought of ham, a type of cured meat. So they started calling it a hamburger, blending the words. Over time, it became just hamburger, shifting the meaning from a person to a tasty sandwich. Then there is sparrowgrass, a funny twist on asparagus. English speakers found asparagus unfamiliar, so they changed it to sparrowgrass, then to sparrowgrass. They combine the words sparrow and grass, even though they have no real link to the plant. This made the word sound more familiar and easier to say. Muskrat is another example. It comes from the Algonquian word musquash. English speakers added rat, a common rodent, to make it easier to remember and pronounce. They also kept musk, which relates to the animal's scent. The new word muskrat stuck and became the common term. Cockroach is a fun one. It comes from the Spanish word cucaracha. English speakers reshaped it into cockroach by splitting it into two familiar words, cock and roach. Even though these words are unrelated to the insect's original name, the change made it easier to say and remember. Wheatear is a bird with a name that changed through folk etymology. Its original name was from Middle English, meaning white arse, referring to the bird's white rump. Over time, people replaced the crude part with more polite words, resulting in wheatear. Hangnail is a small piece of torn skin near a nail. Its roots go back to Old English, where it meant a painful corn on the foot. But people started calling it a hangnail because it sounded more familiar. The change helped it become a common term for that annoying little skin tear. These examples show how people reshape unfamiliar words by replacing parts with familiar words or sounds. Sometimes this changes the meaning, sometimes just the form. Folk etymology helps explain how language naturally evolves as speakers try to make words easier to understand and use. For example, you might say, the word bridegroom sounds like it should relate to groom, but its roots are from Old English bridguma. Or, people started calling a sandwich a hamburger because they thought it was made with ham, even though it originally meant someone from Hamburg. And the bird called a wheatear got its name through folk etymology, changing from a less polite term to something more acceptable. Understanding folk etymology shows us how language changes over time, shaped by how people hear, interpret, and adapt words to fit their understanding. It's a natural part of how words grow and develop in our everyday speech.